and welcome to another episode of Hessy and Maven. I'm Justin.
I'm Raven.
And on this week's episode, we're talking about Pokemon again. We're going to be ranking our top 5. This time, it is rock and psychic types, not in that order.
And, does this episode come out while I'm in Australia?
I think so, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
these categories, Psychic was easy. I like Psychic Pokemon.
Psychic are fun.
I think they're pretty cool. Rock was tough. Tough. Don't love Rock.
No.
Don't love Ground, Dirt, Grass, Olive. I also don't love because we're going to fight, and we're going to fight big.
She's being
We're going to fight big. Get out of here.
Being a lot right now.
Yeah, but Psychic was fun.
Yeah.
That's our first category.
Psychic is fun. Yeah, this is the penultimate time we do this.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one more after this. And we hope that you guys enjoy this series as we've done it. If there's any other series in the future, definitely let us know.
I really would like us to watch some original Digimon and have an episode or two about Digimon.
We could maybe do an episode or two about Digimon.
Yeah, and also maybe watch some Sailor Moon and talk about our favorite Sailor Scouts.
We could do that also.
Yeah.
There's some ideas there.
Yeah.
Some ideas brewing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we have an email address, hessyandmaven@gmail.com. Send us over different ideas of things you want us to rank, things you want us to talk about, different topic ideas, questions that you may have for Raven or I. Raven or myself. I never understand how to do that grammatically.
Or me.
And we also have an Instagram, a YouTube, and a TikTok. All of that is at Hessy and Maven, one word. So definitely check all that stuff out.
Yes.
Olive is just being a terrorist, so bear with us. She's
Stand by.
constantly being a curmudgeon. She is just so difficult sometimes. She really is. She's very stubborn. She is a little narcissistic. And
Needs therapy.
she really needs therapy. She's like Margaret Deal. Margaret Deal Armstrong. Yeah, she has some serious issues going on.
Okay. Now we're in business.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Had to pull the dry cat food up because Olive is food
back.
motivated. Food motivated to say the least. But yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, you'll be in Australia.
Do you want to go first?
I can go first. So we're going to be talking about psychic Pokemon first. Psychic Pokemon are really cool. I always felt like they were very powerful. I feel like often, kind of making a generalization, I haven't played every Pokemon game, but I feel like often if there is a psychic gym leader, they're usually one of the more difficult ones.
Yes.
To get past.
Yes.
Which is not to say that psychic doesn't have its weaknesses. Of course, every type does. For psychic, I saw somebody on TikTok was talking about it. The way I remember what psychic types are weak to is it's like things that you're afraid of. Bugs, bug type. Ghosts, ghost type. And the dark types. So it's like 3 things that
That's
you're
clever.
afraid of.
Yeah. I never remember what anything is weak to, except like fire.
Yeah, like
grass.
some of them are a little more on the nose.
Yeah.
But then there's like random other ones too, where like steel is good against fairy types.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, whatever
that's
you say.
the stuff I never remember.
But then I've heard like that people on TikTok have created like ways to make it all make sense. You know, like
cute ways, yeah.
Yeah, like that it makes sense, and you're like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a reason why like grass is really good against ground but not rock, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, psychic types are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. My number 5 is a new-ish Pokemon. I don't know exactly when they came out. The first time I'd ever seen it was, I think, Scarlet and Violet was the first time that I ever saw it.
Okay.
Maybe it was in Sword and Shield, and I just don't remember. I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing it in Sword and Shield. I'm not looking anything up, so
okay.
I'm not sure. But anyway, it is Veluza. Veluza. It is like a barracuda.
Okay.
Has like a silver body, has purple fins on the bottom and on the top.
Okay.
Very cool. I like it a lot, actually. It's one of the psychic types that has more, usually at least, has more attack as opposed to special attack. So then it what even was that? It uses moves like Zen Headbutt or Psycho Cut, and stuff like that. They're fun, and I like them, and I like the combination of water and psychic. I think that it's an interesting and fun combo, and there's a bunch of them. But yeah, I just really enjoy like how
the
fun
Jettison
it was.
Pokemon.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's probably one of the only ones I've put on. It's one of the few. I've done a few probably, but like I don't often pick a Pokemon that doesn't have any evolution forms.
Yeah, this is a standalone.
It's a standalone, but I like it. I don't know why either.
Okay, it's an intimidating one.
It's very intimidating. I think when I first encountered it, one of the reasons I wasn't a huge fan is only because when it's in the water, like, you know, the new Pokemon games, the Pokemon are out in the wild, right? And you can, like, see them and they chase you sometimes. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker is fast. When it is in the water,
it gets you.
Yeah, it's very fast. You have to, like, really try to avoid them. It'll just, like, torpedo you. Yeah. You know how, like, Tauros does that in Scarlet and Violet, where, like, you'll finish a battle. You'll, like, finish one battle, and then Tauros will just come out of nowhere. Yeah, just so slam you, and you're like, oh, God. That's how Veluza is in the water. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I had one, and I was just a big fan.
Very cool.
Yeah. Because they're pretty big, too. Mm-hmm. Like, they're a decent size. Yeah. And then, they're scary. Their fins, like they look very like sharp. Yeah, it looks the way like that like a barracuda does in real life. Yeah. So I was just into it. So Veluza is my number 5 for psychic.
Cool. Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
My number 5 is Cosmog.
Oh. Okay.
Cosmog is known as the Nebula Pokemon. It is so cute. It's like a little blob with like poofs at the top of his head that are like starry night sky, and it's got little yellow eyes and blue cheeks, and it's super cute. The friend that you have in Pokemon Ultra Moon, she has a Cosmog.
Oh, really?
And she like walks around with it in her bag.
Oh.
And it's really cute, and it's cool because on the front covers of Pokemon Sun and Ultra Sun and Moon and Ultra Moon, the two different things are the final evolutions of Cosmog.
Really?
So in Pokemon Sun, Ultra Sun, and Sword, Cosmog evolves into Cosmoem, which evolves into Solgaleo. And then in Moon, Ultra Moon, and Shield, Cosmoem evolves into Lunala.
Whoa.
Right?
I didn't know that.
I know.
That's crazy. I have a Cosmog in Shield.
So I
didn't even know. I already have a Lunala, which is the other part.
You could get a
little bit of a bummer. I can have 2 Lunalas. But that's crazy.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, I had no idea. You get given a Cosmog as a gift from somebody.
Oh, really?
That's how I got it, yeah. I forgot. I could not tell you the
I've never had one, but I think she's so cute.
But that's awesome.
I know.
I mean, it's a super cool looking Pokemon. The Cosmos kind of vibes, those galaxy vibes.
I love those vibes.
Are very cool. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I know. She's cute.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on to number 4.
Okay.
So my number 4 is a classic, and I think it's a really cool Pokemon, and I really enjoyed having it in like red and blue and like the earlier versions and stuff like that. I think that it is unique. I think that it's really cool because at least the first stage evolution is based on like some really cool Japanese folklore kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Even though it has like it looks like the animal known as a tapir.
Oh.
My number 4 is Hypno.
Yes.
I like Hypno. I think he's really cool. I think he is very funny looking in like a good way. Like he has just a giant schnoz. Mm-hmm. He has a huge nose. He looks like a bald old man with a weird, feathery, ruffly little thing.
Hypno's the evolution, right?
Yeah. Drowsy is the first one who looks like a tapir. And, and has like, there's some connection with the Japanese folklore where it's based on like a monster or cryptid kind of thing that like eats dreams, which is where the move Dream Eater comes in and hypnosis and stuff. And then Hypno is cool too because it's one of those. There's a good handful of them probably if you were to really go into it. But it's one of those Pokemon that like when it evolves, it has like a physical item. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's got that like a coin, I guess, that is on a string that he uses, like that very stereotypical idea of hypnotism of like the follow the thing and it goes back and forth.
I'd love to get hypnotized. I want it to be real so bad.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about it. Only because like I don't know. I'm just like thinking about like I don't want to. I'll tell you what I don't want to do. I don't want to do hypnotism on a stage in front of people.
And then you just sit there non-hypnotized and you're like,
no,
this didn't work. And that's embarrassing for them.
No, I would rather that than be hypnotized into being like, you think you're a chicken.
Oh, no. I want hypnotism to be real. How cool would that be? I don't think it's real. I think that every time you see one of those shows, that person is like hand chosen and they do what they're told to do.
They're plugs.
Because I don't think that hypnotism is real, even though I want it to be real so bad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I think it is real.
You think that someone could sit there and convince you to be a chicken?
Not like convince me. It's not like
hypnotize you to be a chicken?
No, I don't know if it'll work for me. I think it can work on certain people.
I don't know.
The Try Guys did a thing on it, and straight up, like, Zach could not be hypnotized.
Yeah.
He was, like, laughing and goofing around the whole time. Yeah. But I forget who one of them was. Like, one of the producers or something. This was, like, pre the whole Ned fiasco.
Wow, what drama, man. Olive!
Sorry, guys. Olive is trying to get a little too playful with Jessica.
A little too playful?
Yeah, she's antsy, and Jessica is about to get in the zoomies now that it's 9 p.m. Because, of course, she would. Time for zoomies. But, yeah, Hypno.
I like them. That's a great choice.
Is my number 4.
My number 4 is Espathra.
Oh, yeah. That's a weird way that you said it.
Because you say it.
Let me just look up the spelling again to make sure that we're on the same page here. I've been saying it wrong this entire time. I've been calling it Esparta. Like somebody from Spain saying like,
Sparta?
Where are those 300 soldiers from? They're from Esparta. Esparta.
No, Espathra.
Wow, I'm embarrassed.
Is the ostrich
I was really
Pokemon.
gonna call your ass out on it too.
So funny.
You do it to me all the time.
The ostrich Pokemon. She is beautiful, orange and purple and yellow and white with like bright blue eyes. A tall, flightless avian Pokemon resembling an ostrich. When I first saw that this was a Pokemon, I was so flippin' stoked. I feel like ostrich was something they should have tapped into a long time ago.
There's a lot. Is there a peacock Pokemon? Like, what are they doing?
Oh,
There's a lot of Pokemon that animals that
when
they
you
have
said
not
that,
tapped into, and it's like, what?
When you said that, I thought you meant there's a lot of ostrich Pokemon. Like, there's a lot stupid, and I was about to be like, but I love it, and I remember the exact time that me and you were playing Pokemon in the living room, and we both discovered at the same time that Flittle evolves into Espathra, and we were both shook.
Yeah.
We were like, what?
I know.
Flittle evolves into that?
Yeah,
and it was so exciting.
It was one of us. One of the two of us was playing on the big TV, and we had a Flittle, and it was like evolving. We were like, oh shit, it's evolving.
Can't wait to see what it is.
And then it turned into a Pokemon that we had seen several times.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think she's so cool. She's the only Pokemon who can learn Lumina Crash, which is a powerful move.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her. It's a Pokemon I would love to have.
Yeah, it would be sick.
It's so cool.
It would be really cool to have an ostrich Pokemon.
Yeah, that's
to
beautiful.
Ride an ostrich.
She is my number 4.
That's an awesome pick.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That is an awesome pick. I in my D&D game, I have an NPC, which just means that like if you're playing a video game, it would be considered like a computer character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, non-playable is what that stands
exactly.
for, right?
Yeah. Yes. So I have an NPC. Her name is Georgette Bouvin, and she has a companion / pet ostrich named Ophelia. And Ophelia,
I love it,
has a shit ton of speed and wears armor.
That's incredible.
And can do running, leaping jumps, even though I don't necessarily know that ostriches are making huge jumps.
Probably not. But they do have big legs, so.
They have big legs. It's possible. I just don't know if they jump like that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's D&D. We have a lot of fun with it.
Yes.
Ostriches also don't wear armor. Cool. So my number 3, going back to not only Gen 1, but also another water psychic type. We're going with Slowbro.
Ah, okay.
I like Slowbro.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was hard for me to go between Slowbro and Slowking.
Yeah.
Because I honestly could have gone either way. They're both the same type. It's just cool. Like
Slowking is just
they look
rarer,
different.
Right?
Yeah, you have to do like dumb trading stuff. I think that's really the reason I didn't.
There's an episode of the show where like they need a Slowking and they all just keep evolving into Slowbros and they have to like
figure it out or something
to get a Slowking.
Yeah, you have to. I believe that you have to give a Slowpoke a King's Rock.
Yes.
And trade.
Yeah.
And then it's just like I hate. You know me. I've said this numerous times. I hate trading based evolutions.
In the show, it was like there was a lake filled with Slowpoke, and the lake was filled with Cloyster, which is the one that bites the tail.
It's confusing,
or Shelder.
Shelder, I think.
Shelder is the one that bites the tail,
but then it looks totally different.
Yes,
so
then the Shelder
confusing.
changes.
Yeah,
but in the middle of the lake was like a boulder that had a King's Rock on it. And they all tried to get to the King's Rock to become Slowking, but before they could get there, the Shelder would bite their tail and they would become Slowbro.
Oh, man.
So, like, they could... none of them could get it. It's, like,
that's funny.
So funny.
Yeah, I like Slowbro a lot. He's pretty powerful. Usually kind of slow, but had pretty powerful moves and stuff like that. Similar to, Veluza. It was just like... Or Veluza?
I think Veluza was right.
Veluza.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just being able to do Surf and Psychic is dope. You know what I mean? Like, that's a powerful combination.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps that, like, it's one of those typing, like, dual types where, like, if you come across something that's, like, that Psychic's really good against, chances are that it, like, the water part of Slowbro isn't going to necessarily fuck that up. You know what I mean? Like how sometimes you're like, oh, I'm grass and fire, and then you go against a water. That's not a good example. I can't think of a great example right now, but like
that's okay.
Sometimes the double typing bites you in the ass.
Yes.
And water and psychic doesn't necessarily feel like one of those. It feels like it really is more beneficial, with the exception of providing, like, I guess a few more weaknesses and stuff like that, but still I really enjoy Slowbro. I think he's a lot of fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Good.
Also, I'm trying to think of Red and Blue. I think it's pretty difficult. I can't remember where in Red and Blue you get a Slowpoke. I think you can get Slowpoke when you fish inside of the safari.
I think they're cute.
And then there's some other places. But yeah, exactly. I just always thought he was cool because he was like funny and dumb and
very
bright-ass
dopey.
pink.
Yeah.
And he looked like, I guess, a couple different animals sort of combined, but like didn't necessarily look like any one animal that you could be like, oh, it's this. And then it was just cool. The name is funny, Slow Bro.
Yeah.
Like very funny. So it's just like, I love this.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. Very good pick.
Yeah.
My next pick is controversial.
Your number 3?
My number 3. Munna. Munna.
Whoa.
Yeah. Munna is the Dream Eater Pokemon.
That is a crazy pick. Very controversial.
In this stage, she's adorable.
Okay.
She looks a little bit like a piggy bank. That's her shape.
She really does.
But she's got like a long downward snout.
Yeah.
And she's covered in flowers. And she's pink and purple.
Mm-hmm.
And so cute.
And she has like the tiniest little eyelashes.
Yes, she's got little eyelashes. She's so cute. Munna is able to eat the dreams of people and Pokemon as well as project their dreams by expelling dream mist.
Wow.
A person whose dream was eaten by a Munna will forget the dream's contents. The dream mist will be pink if the dream was pleasant. But Munna can also seek out and cure people and Pokemon who are having nightmares by eating their nightmares. And if Munna eats a nightmare, then the dream mist extracted will be black.
Whoa.
Munna and its evolution are thought to share common ancestry with Drowsy. I can't even talk about Munna's evolution because it's so horrendous.
It's bad.
It looks like a fetus.
Yep.
It's horrible. I don't even consider it because Munna is so cute.
Yeah.
So when I have one, I don't evolve it. It needs a Moonstone to evolve, and I'll never do that.
Yep.
But yeah, Munna is so cute.
Not great.
I love her. I would love to own her. She seems like a Pokemon that I could like hold like this or like put in my purse.
Yeah.
And she would be so cute. And
does it say how big she is?
2 feet height. 51 pounds.
Wow. Little chunker.
Chonky.
Good for her.
Yeah. She's my number 3.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I judge that is because, as you so aptly put it, the evolved form looks like a fetus and it looks terrible.
It does look terrible.
It looks so weird.
It's really bad.
Awful. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Especially when you see it in like the new video games where it's like a 3D version of it and it's even worse.
Yes.
Because they tried to do the dream mist, as you were calling it. Mm-hmm. They tried to like put that in,
and it looks like an umbilical cord.
And it looks like an umbilical cord. It looks fucking terrible.
It's awful.
As opposed to just like
doing mist.
What's that noise?
Probably fireworks.
Ugh, gross.
I know.
I hate fireworks.
Yeah,
I hate them
same.
so much. I think they're so pointless.
I also hate fireworks.
It's amazing to me that fireworks were invented like thousands of years ago. I don't know the exact time, but I'm pretty sure they're Chinese. Mm-hmm. They're invented over 1,000 at least, if not longer. Obviously there has been pretty, at some point there was some development and like evolution of the firework. Mm-hmm. It feels like probably in the last, at least in my lifetime, I don't feel like anything has updated.
Unless you're like in Dubai. Because they do like specialized drone fireworks stuff, which looks crazy. But here it's the same always.
Yeah. Are you talking about the like where there's like a bunch of drones in the sky and they make shapes?
No, I'm talking about. I'll show you a video after.
Okay. Yeah, because it just feels like there's nothing new. Like they're just same old. It's just an explosion and a circular thing of light.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, until you're making crazy shapes, until
animals.
You're doing like, and that's another reason I really hate it is just every time I just think about all the dogs and stuff, but it's just so boring. Like
it is, and I hate when people post fireworks shows on their Snapchat stories. Stop doing that.
And you can barely see them and stuff, and it's just like this is so.
I don't want to watch fireworks via Snapchat.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Calling people out.
Okay.
All right.
Your number 2.
My number 2 is the one, the only, Mew.
Oh. Mew is cute.
Mew is super fucking cute.
Yeah.
Also, crazy powerful. Some considered the first Pokemon ever. Like in the world, like in the lore of Pokemon, I mean. But also not necessarily. It was at one point considered the first Pokemon ever, and then the DNA and all Pokemon can be found from Mew and da da da. But then they started doing these like legendary Pokemon where it's like they created galaxies and stuff. So it's like, okay, fuck off, whatever. Mew will always be the number one as far as I'm concerned. But like, yeah, just super stinking cute. The only way you could catch it in Red and Blue was a weird glitch, little cheat glitch thing in the game, and I never was able to do it because it's like really specific how you do it. Like you have to walk 7 paces this way, walk this way, avoid this thing, and then go here. And it was just like, ugh. I just never did that. But yeah, so it's just like so stinking cute. Obviously, it makes a big appearance in the first Pokemon movie.
I love that
against
it's cute
Mewtwo.
and it's powerful, because I feel like a lot of cute Pokemon are not that powerful.
Exactly. That's one of the things I really like about Mew is that, and also that it has like, it was so interesting because like, obviously Mewtwo was able to speak, right? Using its telepathy and stuff like that. So like when he's having conversations with Mew, and Mew's just going mew 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 mew.
Yes.
And then like Mewtwo's like,
"How dare you?"
Yeah, he's like, "What do you mean? You mean Pokemon and humans can be friends?" I don't think so. But like I like that Mew comes across as cute, naive maybe even, and like just carefree, like just bouncing on the windmill,
very carefree,
blowing bubbles and stuff like that. Like Ash is in the middle of like potentially getting his ass kicked, and like Mew is just like
yeah.
And you're like, Mew, take this seriously. Yeah, I love Mew. He's just fucking cute, flies around, has a big tail, has a cat-like sort of head, big ol' eyes.
I like that in the season of Pokemon that you watched on the big TV. I remember the one character gets introduced and he's like, "I'm gonna catch Mew. That's my life's purpose. He's gonna be my Pokemon. I'm gonna fucking catch Mew." Yeah. And then he gets a score bunny and he's like, "Never mind. Now I have a score bunny."
At first, like, yeah, so the character's name is Go in the Pokemon Journeys thing on Netflix. But like, no, it starts off where he's like, "I want Mew to be my first Pokemon, so I'm gonna make sure that I get Mew first." And then he gets a score bunny, and he's like, "Okay, here's what's gonna happen. Actually, I'm gonna catch every single Pokemon.
Yeah.
And
which I
then
think is
I'm
cool.
gonna catch Mew."
Yeah.
So that's his goal.
Yeah. All right. Cool. That's a big one.
That's my number 2 for Psychic.
It's a big one.
Mew.
All right. My number 2 is Gothitelle. I love this Pokemon in every single evolution. But it's Gothita, then Gothorita, then Gothitelle. And I think it's so cute. In its final form really cool. As Gothitelle, it is like a long black tiered ball gown with like bows, and she's got this crazy like doot 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 hair.
Yeah.
And blue eyes, and she's got these like long arms that have like cuffs around the arms, and she's so cute. And I think her lore is like so fascinating when you read about her. Gothitelle's immense psychic power can distort the space around it, showing visions of distant stars and past events, but it dislikes conflict. It can predict the future from the placement and movement of stars, and weeps when it discovers the lifespan of its trainer. It has a detached nature due to seeing how all life will eventually end.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, they hit the nail on the head when they were like, "We got to make a goth Pokemon."
Yeah. A criminal.
We'll put goth in the name.
Yeah. A criminal that a Gothitelle had shown his fate to went missing that same day and was never seen again. The visions Gothitelle shares are said to be apparently ethereal and beautiful. It's a lot to unpack.
That is a lot to unpack. That's
so
crazy.
If you have a Gothitelle, it knows when you'll die.
Yeah.
And it gets upset about it. And it showed a criminal its fate, and the criminal went missing.
Suspicious.
And it can show you visions that it sees in the stars, and it doesn't like conflict.
Amazing.
So I love it. It's 4'11", so it's Aaron Bluggett's height. And it's 97 pounds.
It's just a little guy.
Yeah. I love her. She's the astral body Pokemon.
That's really funny. That's amazing.
I love her. She's so
I had no idea.
Ethereal and celestial and beautiful.
Yeah.
And gothic.
Wow.
I know.
Have you seen one in the show yet?
No. Let me see. Gothitelle debuts in The Lost World of Gothitelle. It creates an illusion. And they're going to... Let me see. What season is this episode in? Oh, Gothitelle... The Lost World of Gothitelle is the 21st episode of Black and White.
Ah.
I haven't gotten to Black and White yet. Right now I'm in Diamond and Pearl.
Okay, cool.
So
I'd be very interested to see how much of that lore, translates over to the character.
Yes. I'm very excited.
Very cool.
Yep, that's my number 2.
All right. Number 1 favorite psychic Pokemon is Espeon. I love Espeon. I love Espeon so freaking much.
Espeon is good.
I think it's one of my... It's probably like right up there with... I like so many Eevee evolutions, let's be honest. I love Vaporeon, I love Jolteon, and I love Espeon.
They're all really good.
My 3 that I really fuck with.
Yeah.
Espeon is just so fucking cool. I just think that it's so interesting, and it's just... it looks very interesting in terms of like its vibes. I don't know, like it's got like way big ears, like some of the biggest ears of Eevee evolutions. Forked tail, little red jewel dot in its forehead. This beautiful lilac color that I'm obsessed with. Like I love a good lavender kind of thing. I love it so much. I also know that what's it called? I know that there's like it's based on something too. I forget. Hold on, I'm about to find it, so I'm so close.
What Espeon is based on?
Yeah. Espeon is inspired by Nikomata, the two-tailed cat spirits in Japanese folklore. It's believed that Nikomata come from ordinary domestic cats that have lived a long life, have a large body and long tail. When these cats transform from cats to spirits, their tails will split into 2 identical ones.
Okay.
Sometimes they can switch between their original forms and human forms. They are powerful and violent spirits that can control the dead relatives of those who have offended them. However, some Nikomata are kind and loyal to their owners.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Also, quick note, Umbreon is inspired by the moon rabbit from Chinese folklore.
Well, I love that.
Crazy.
Yeah, love Umbreon. Did I tell you that May, the last companion of Ash and Brock?
Yes.
It was Misty, and then May, and now it's Dawn. But May, who had the little brother.
Yep.
She had an Eevee right before she left the show, and I was so mad that I didn't get to see what her Eevee evolved to.
Yeah.
She made an appearance in the last episode, and she went to a place to walk up to the stone to evolve her Eevee into a Glaceon.
Oh.
Yeah, she went to Snow Point City to a...
Interesting.
To a stone.
To an ice stone.
Ice stone, and now has a Glaceon.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm glad that scratched an itch.
Yeah, for sure. Really I understand that.
Yeah.
All right. That was my number 1.
Very good.
I'm interested to see what you got.
My number 1 is Alakazam. I love Alakazam. And I didn't love Alakazam as much until I watched the show.
Mm-hmm.
And now I love him. Every time someone has one, it's like super fucking powerful. And it destroys whoever they're fighting. And it's like so badass. And the voice actor that they get to voice Alakazam, the voice is so good. Like, it is...
Isn't it, like, pretty deep?
It's very deep.
Alakazam.
Yeah. It's like... I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it.
I almost picked Alakazam, but I didn't, based purely on the fact that I love Alakazam. Mm-hmm. I like him. Abra annoys me only because of in the game. It gives me flashbacks of in the game having to catch an Abra, which already is annoying because it only knows teleport, so it constantly runs away. So you have to either immediately throw a Pokeball at it and hope for the best, or you have to like paralyze it, put it to sleep, something like that immediately, and then catch it. So all of that stuff made me like, ugh, Abra is so annoying. And then in the old games before experience share, that's a fucking nightmare, right? To like sit there and have like throw out a Pokemon that can't do anything and then immediately switch, and so annoying. And then Kadabra, I just don't like the weird body. Like the tail doesn't look floofy enough to be a tail, so then it looks like just a fat part of its body, like a insect abdomen. Like it just looks weird. And then Alakazam I love, but trading evolution, so it didn't make my list.
All right, let's see if this...
Alakazam. Is that Kadabra? No, that's an Alakazam.
What a fucking idiot, Ash. What? A Dumbo.
I just love the voice.
Is that a Kadabra?
In this episode where he first appears, they're at like these ancient ruins, and there's these like warnings about like the two giant Pokemon that like created the Earth or whatever, and they were trapped inside these stones, and of course Ash and his stupid friends like released them from the stones, and it's a huge Alakazam and a huge Gengar, and they fight and like almost destroy the world until they save the day. But
Alakazam is very cool. Giant mustache, great mustache.
Huge mustache, 2 spoons.
The spoons. I didn't want to bring it up in case you picked them.
Yeah.
Kadabra or Alakazam. When I was talking about Hypno and like where you evolve and you have items, that was another one.
Yeah. The Japanese translation of what they call Alakazam is Foodin. Foodin. He's known as the Psy Pokemon. Alakazam is a slightly humanoid Pokemon with a large mustache. A female Alakazam has a significantly shorter mustache.
That's good to know.
Hilarious.
That's good to know.
It is just so cool.
It is very cool.
It in the show is just so badass every time it comes out.
Seriously.
Like when someone has an Alakazam, you know like some shit's about to go down, and it's going to be so cool.
I can picture myself using Alakazam in like Pokemon Stadium and being like, Alakazam, you psychic, and it being like, and like the two, what's it called? The 2 spoons bend, and it's like, and then like a Psybeam shoots off of it.
It's so cool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I said, Alakazam is dope. Would have made my list. But I have to stay principled on how much I hate trading evolution, which actually
I understand.
I'm a complete fraud because I picked Golem for ground. So totally a liar. And I think I picked Gengar somewhere. So I have no integrity.
That's fine. Oh, integrity is for squares.
For squares.
So yeah.
Very good. Alakazam.
Psychic.
Add it to the list. Boom, boom, boom. Psychic. Done.
Rock. Ugh. Harder.
Rock.
Not as good.
Rock wasn't that hard for me, actually.
I think you'll be surprised by some of my choices.
I will be, and also you will pick Pokemon that I've never heard of, probably. We'll see. I don't know. You just do
no,
that
you've
sometimes.
heard of all these.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Starting off, do you want me to start? Or?
Sure.
Okay. Starting off at number 5, I love this Pokemon. I really do. Although, because my graffiti name in college was Slug, I do have quite a big prejudice against snails. which is why it's only number 5 on my list. It would have been a little bit higher probably. But because it's a snail and only its first evolution is a slug, I chose for my number 5 Magcargo.
In the show, what voices that Pokemon is also really good. It's like Magcargo. Magcargo.
Yeah, I do love him though, because I like how droopy and like it's like active lava, so it's like very droopy and stuff like that, and I like that. I think it's funny, and it kind of has like a stoopy boy kind of face, and then just this rock snail shell or whatever. Obviously a play on the words magma and escargot. Hilarious.
Yeah, very clever.
But
evolves from a
slugma, yeah. The other part of magma, and then a slug.
Yeah, there's a scene where Ash is in some type of competition battle, and he's battling a slugma that evolves into a Magcargo, and he gets his butt whooped by the Magcargo, not the slugma.
There you go, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember having one in the older games. I can't remember which game I had it in. I think I had it in Ruby. Maybe Sapphire. Ruby or Sapphire, I had a Magcargo.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fun. It's pretty sick. Like, having a fire and rock type is pretty helpful most of the time. I mean, you're super fucked by water, but just make sure you don't, I don't know, throw it out against a water type.
Yeah.
Or somebody who can. The tricky part about double typing with something like this is, what if you're like, okay, what is this, a fucking Raichu? No problem. Throw out my Magcargo, and then it's like, Raichu, you surf, and you're like, what? What the fuck? Fuck you, Raichu. Fuck the random physics breaking mechanics of this shit. That stuff will drive me nuts. But anyway, Magcargo is my number 5.
Very good.
I like him a lot. I like his silly, stupid boy face. I like the mechanics of having rock with fire.
Yes.
Even though I'm always big, in fact, my really old, like when I used to do Tumblr, my Tumblr name was Slugs Over Snails.
I taught Josh about Tumblr the other night.
You taught him about it?
Yeah.
Josh, you boy.
Like, he knew of it, but didn't know what it was for. And I was like, you have to learn. It's so good.
It was good.
I go on it still. Sometimes when I want something mindless and I don't want TikTok, I like Tumblr just for photos.
It is good for photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I feel that. All right, yeah, that was my number 5.
My number 5 is Onyx.
Hell yes.
I love Onyx.
Onyx is dope.
It's another one like Alakazam where anytime someone throws one out in a battle, everyone is like, Onyx. Like, it's so
big.
Big. According to Bulbapedia, it's 28 feet 10 inches tall. So, like, immediately a badass because it's huge.
It's so big.
Like, having one would be, like, the ultimate bodyguard.
Yeah.
Like, you're just walking around with a 28-foot fucking rock snake.
Yeah, like a boulder snake. It's insane.
Yeah.
That is
it's
nice
awesome.
boulder.
That's a nice boulder. 28 feet, 10 inches tall, 463 pounds. I would have thought it'd be heavier.
Way heavier. That sounds fake.
Pounds. No.
How big is a fucking elephant? Not 28 feet.
No.
I mean, they're doing length,
pounds.
but still. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Pokemon Company, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Hollow Rocks?
It says it's a very aggressive Pokemon, but I feel like my vibe is different, so it wouldn't be aggressive to me. Also, there is a very cute scene in the show where after a few seasons, they go back to Pewter City, and where Brock is from, and Brock, like, leaves his Onyx with his little brother, like, after a little bit in the show.
That's so sad.
And they go back to visit Pewter City, and Brock gets accosted by a Steelix, and you realize that it's his Onyx that evolved into a Steelix while he was away. Wow. And it's really cute.
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah, so I love Onyx. That's my number 5.
Very cool. Onyx is a good pick.
Yeah.
My number... Oh, hold on. Let me write down your pick. Okay. Number 4 is a brand new Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I shit all over this Pokemon when I first saw it.
Ooh.
Hated it.
Okay.
I was like, ugh, this is stupid. It looks like Minecraft. Fuck that.
Oh, I
hated
know.
it. Then I saw its final evolution, and I finally put together the fact that
Knackle? Is that what we're talking about?
My number 4 is, since you're rushing me, is Garganackle. Okay. The final evolution. But yeah, I literally was like Knackly and fucking whatever the middle one is. I was like, it's so stupid. And you were like, oh, it's like sodium chloride. And I was like, oh, it's salt. It's like a salt rock thing. All right.
Yeah.
And instantly I was
funny.
like, I'm down with this fucking guy.
Yeah.
So then when I did my second, or no, I actually had one in the first one too. Because I played that game twice. But in my second playthrough, instead of going to the bug gym, I went to the grass gym. Mm-hmm. And when you're going that way, you can catch a Knackly like really early on. So it was one of my first Pokemon. And man, I built that motherfucker up. And I named him Sugar because I thought that was funny because it's like opposite of salt. And and it was a girl. So I was like, hey, Sugar. And just so fucking strong. And it learns the move. I really like it. Not necessarily because it's like the most powerful move in the world. Just kind of because I think it's always fun when a move is super specific. I've said that every episode we do this.
Yes.
And it knows the move Salt Cure.
Yes. Which
is like... It's like poisoning a Pokemon, kind of. It just does a little bit of damage every single time.
Yep.
And I like that. I think that's fun.
It is fun.
But yeah, my Garganackle was just an absolute badass. Sugar. Shout out.
Sugar.
Sugar, sugar.
Pour some sugar on me. We did good there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
My number 4 is Carbink.
Carbink. I knew it.
Carbink is a rock fairy Pokemon that is so cute.
It's very cute.
It's considered a relative of Diancie, who made another one of my lists.
Yep.
It is a diamond shape, like a... And it's got little ears and little eyes. Mm-hmm. And it's got like a frou-frou collar where you can't see its nose or its mouth. Perfect. And it's got like diamonds sticking out of it. Or like gems. It's the jewel Pokemon.
Yeah.
Carbink is created from high temperatures and pressures underground. Following birth, it can sleep for millions of years.
Whoa.
It is preyed upon by Sableye and Gabite. Carbink defends itself by shooting high energy beams from the gem on its head.
Whoa.
Rarely, Carbink will undergo a strange mutation and transform into Diancie. So I don't know what that means. Apparently it's not an evolution, but...
It's probably their way of being like, these two Pokemon are related, but if you're playing the game, you cannot evolve your Carbink into anything.
Yeah.
Because I have a bunch of Carbinks, because I kept forgetting that I had one. So I just kept catching them. And then every time I do the thing in Sword and Shield, they took away some things. I understand adding new things and having there be like a new gimmick, like the terrestrialization bullshit.
Yeah.
But when they take certain things away that are good and popular, I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Yeah. For example, Pokejobs. I like Pokejobs.
I never use that.
If you don't use it, that's one thing. But like, you can use it, and it's amazing. And it's like a passive thing where you can just have your Pokemon improve their stats or get higher levels and experience points. Mm-hmm. When you're, I have 400 Pokemon. Guess what? I'm not using all of them. Let me have them go do little fucking things that build up their experience. Mm-hmm. And every time I would send out Carbink on a job, I'd always feel bad that I was sending one and not the others. And I hate releasing Pokemon because even though it's a digital game and these are literally just ones and zeros.
I know.
I feel terrible. So I can't release a Pokemon unless its name is Pokegens.com. Never go there.
Yes.
Then I throw it away. But I would send all of my Carbinks, my like 4 or 5 of them.
It is said that a pack of Carbink live deep underground with their queen in a jeweled kingdom.
Whoa.
First of all, that's incredible. Second of all, the major appearances in the anime.
Yeah.
3 Carbink named, you're not ready, Bort, Merrick, and Allotrope appear in Diancie, Princess of the Diamond Domain. Bort, Merrick, and Allotrope reappear in Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction, accompanied by a fourth Carbink named Dace, who appears to be their leader.
Amazing.
I love it.
That's so
Why
fun.
do they have names? It's so funny.
It's true. That's true. How do they know their names? Who named them? How do we as the viewer know their names?
I can't wait till I get there.
Subtitles.
I will get there.
Amazing. I can't wait for you to get there.
Yes.
I'll vicariously live through you. That's a great one.
Thank you.
That's your number 4. Wow.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is a Pokemon that I only found in the expansions, like the Crown Isle, Armor Island fucking things in Sword and Shield. Mm-hmm. I saw it and was like, no fucking way. It's one of my favorite types of dinosaurs. My number 3 is Archeops.
The bird?
It's a flying rock type.
Whoa.
It is based loosely on the... I mean, you call it a dinosaur. I call it a dinosaur, but whatever. Archaeopteryx.
That's crazy.
Like the first dinosaur with feathers, or at least for a long time, that's what they believed. It's like that one fossil where it's like it looks like a lizard chicken, but you can like see the feathers in the fossil. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. I just fought one in Ultramoon.
You really?
Someone had one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're fucking cool.
In the Alolan region.
Yeah. I think they're really fucking cool.
Interesting.
I had never seen one before. I love the colors. It's super colorful, which I fucking love.
It is, which I think is really cool.
But yeah, I just loved it. I was like, oh, as soon as I saw one, I was like, what? That's so cool. Archeops. Yeah, I almost wish that it had another form too. Yeah, but it comes from Arkin, which is adorable. Big ass giant eyes. Has like the scaling kind of to make it look a little lizard like. But then it kind of a beak, but also teeth. And then it's got feathers and stuff like that. And then it evolves into Archeops, which is kind of the same idea. Like they do a little bit of lizard and a lot of bird. And because it's called the first bird Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good one. I didn't know that was rock. That's
yeah, it's flying and rock.
Flying and rock is an interesting combo.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was really, really cool. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's very colorful. It's like light red, blue, like a weird tannish yellow, and then like a bright teal color, which is very cool.
Yeah, the colors are awesome. Like a macaw, like a scarlet macaw.
Kind of, yeah.
Colors. Very good.
Yeah, I just thought it was dope looking. I remember when it evolved, I was like, what? That's so sick. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sleepy.
It is late. I am also very sleepy.
It's 9:30.
I know.
We are old. My number 3 is Lunatone.
Oh, Lunatone. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Lunatone is a rock psychic type. It is a standalone, but is considered to be a counterpart of Solrock.
Solrock, yeah.
It's the meteorite Pokemon. It lives in caves and becomes active under a full moon. Using its psychic powers, Lunatone floats through the air. It was first discovered at the site of a meteor crash, and there's a theory that Lunatone may have originated from outer space, which is pretty spot on, I think. It is in the shape of a crescent moon, but it has a beak, like this.
Weird.
Which is a weird choice. And it's got a big red eye.
Yeah.
And
I think I've really only ever seen... I've never seen it, like, in the cartoon or anything. I've only ever seen it, like, in older video games, too. Like, before you could see one in the wild or something. So, and I, for some reason, it's one of those Pokemon where every time I get Pokemon, like the game, I happen to have the one that only has Solrock. So I don't think I've ever even had a Lunatone as a Pokemon. Because I always have the option of Solrock, and I politely decline.
Lunatone appears in the show along with Solrock in Ash's first gym battle where he fights two people. They're brother and sister.
Oh, like a doubles
and
battle.
Dual gym owners.
Oh, that's what we should
leaders.
do. We'd fucking kick some butt.
And
if we did Poison and Fairy.
Yeah. I don't know what the theme was at that gym, but I guess Rock, because it's Soul Rock and Lunatone is what they fought with.
Yeah.
And they fought.
They're psychic too, though, aren't they?
Oh, maybe they fought in a stadium where the ceiling was super high, and then there was like planets.
Oh,
like all around,
like a planetarium.
Yeah,
that's really
pretty
cool.
But yeah, so that's my number 3.
Lunatone. Okay, very
number
cool. Number 2. Oh, sorry, I missed it for a second. Okay, yeah, my number 2 is intimidating, but I think he would love me. He'd be a great guard animal. It's Onyx.
Wow.
I picked Onyx. I love him.
Yeah.
He's so fucking big, dude. I just
such
like
a good guard animal.
Man, yeah, every time you see him in the show, it's just like, God, that'd be so terrifying to see in real life. Unless it was like on your side, and then you'd be like, thank God he's on ours. That would be like that thing that they say in so many movies where you're like, thank God he's on our side.
Oh no.
It's just like so powerful, so big.
It really would be.
I'm now, because you mentioned his weight and how he's only like, he's less than 500 pounds, but also 28 feet long of fucking boulders. What are their physiology? What is that like? Like, if you did an x-ray, like, is there like one stomach tube that goes through all these rocks? Like, are they hollow?
I don't know.
He's got eyeballs. So he's got, and you assume that he's got some kind of brain. How do rock Pokemon work that way?
No.
Is it a rock outer shell? Like, what are we talking? You know what I mean? I know you don't have the answers. These are all rhetorical questions in a way, but like, just I'm fascinated by it now that I'm thinking about it. It's crazy.
I know, but he's awesome, and it would be awesome to have.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
You could technically, like, even if you were traveling with Onyx and you had no supplies for outdoor camping, he could just like make a circle and you could sleep inside.
Yeah, stop a lot of the wind. You could have a little, make a little tiny campfire, less wind to blow it out.
He'd protect you.
Oh my God,
awesome.
He's so cool.
Yeah, it's a great choice.
That one shark fin on his head, kind of. Very, very
Onyx
cool.
and Steelix are both awesome.
Steelix is pretty sick. I do like Steelix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both cool,
I'm into both of them.
Both big boys.
Both big boys.
Yeah.
Big time.
Big boy. Yeah. Very good.
Okay, perfect. That's my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
My number 2, much smaller. Corsola.
Oh, okay.
Corsola is a water rock Pokemon. It was first introduced to me when Misty gets one. It looks like a coral.
We're just gonna ignore that. We're just gonna ignore that.
It looks like farted. A coral.
Yeah, Corsola is sick.
It's really cute. It's interesting because in the Galar region, Corsola has a ghost type form.
Corsola?
Galarian Corsola evolves into Cursola. And Galarian Corsola is white.
Like
and like
dead.
Looks like ghost coral.
Yeah.
Which is like
very sad.
Dead coral, which is really sad.
Yeah.
But Corsola is so cute in the show. She's adorable. She's a little high-pitched baby voice.
Yeah.
Corsola. So cute. And I love her, and I think
it's
having a water rock
great
type
Pokemon.
is like clutch.
If you still have the page up, do you know what generation they're from? Because I think
2.
they're second generation. Yeah, I remember Corsola first coming out and being like, "Oh, this is pretty sick."
Yeah,
and because it was when dual typing was like first really introduced in a big way.
Yeah. They talk about it in the show. It's interesting. Like when dual typing first happens, they talk about it in the show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it was dope. I just remember that one being really cool. That and like Lantern are the 2 big ones that I think of. Lantern especially because it was like, I guess Corsola is the same way. It's 2 types that are like very opposite each other.
And I just want to say the Japanese translation of Corsola into English is Sunnygo. Sunnygo.
Amazing.
Yeah. So Corsola is my number 2.
I love that. I can't wait to see what your number 1 is. I'm very curious. My number 1, let's do another water rock type.
Okay.
Kabutops.
Wow. Okay.
I fucking love Kabutops.
Okay.
This is another one where no one said to do this. These are my own unwritten rules. Mm-hmm. I was only allowed to pick either Kabutops or Omastar.
Oh, because they're both...
Because they're the 2 different fossils that you can get in red and blue. Like, you have to choose one. As soon as you choose one, the dude takes the other one.
Yeah.
So, unless you do trading, you can only get one. Mm-hmm. Kabutops all the fucking way. Even though I really do like Nautilus as, like, a species of animal.
Yeah.
But Kabutops is just so fucking cool with his goddamn scythe arms, and he's tall, and he's kind of, like, lanky but big. And he's very tall, and seeing him in that one episode where Ash sees them with Aerodactyl.
Yes.
Amazing. They're just it's so cool. I remember having one, and I said this in a previous episode, but like I made a team of Pokemon that were all dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. And of course Kabutops is on the list, and it was just like so badass. And it was a group that like not only I was making the team only on aesthetics, like it just had to be like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
But by the end, they were super powerful. The only downside is a lot of the dinosaur Pokemon are rock.
Yeah.
Because they're fossils.
Right.
So they have to be rock.
It makes me sad that in the show, like, I get it, but all the Kabutops, what's the one before that?
Kabuto,
Omanite, Omastar, Aerodactyl, no one has them. Like, they're not Pokemon that you can have as a trainer.
Yeah.
They're, like, wild and no one has them. And it's like, they'd be cool.
Yeah,
like,
I hear you.
But that's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Thank you. Kabutops number 1. I'm really excited to see your number 1.
My number 1 is Kabutops.
No fucking way. Seriously? Dang, that's wild.
I was so sad when you said it just now. It's like, oh, wow.
You played it off pretty well. I thought you were more like surprised of like, oh shit, Kabutops. I guess you were surprised a little bit, but dang, that's really funny.
I think that he's the least mentioned of all of the ancient fossil Pokemon. They talk a lot about Aerodactyl. They talk a lot about Omanite and Omastar. They never talk about Kabutops. I think he looks super badass.
He does. Looks so cool.
Yeah, he looks super cool. He's very elusive to me because I feel like they never talk about him. And I've never had one in any of the games. And yeah, I love him. He's my number 1.
Yeah. You can catch him in Sword and Shield, but only one of them. Like in yours, because you have Sword, you can probably catch Omanite Omanite and Omastar in the expansion pack.
Okay.
I can catch Kabuto.
Okay, that's fucking annoying.
Yeah, tell me about it. So annoying. I hate trading. I hate that it's a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, gang, that is all of our top 5 for rock and psychic Pokemon.
Yay!
Thanks for sticking with us with this trend. We only have one more to go. After this, it'll be water and steel. So again, check us out on all of our socials. Hessy and Maven, one word. We have an email address, hessyandmaven@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Hessy and Maven. Please tune in next time where we talk about something else.
Bye.
Bye.